In this video, we are going to see how to protect an application with the terminal. The first thing to do is to install the ByteHide package. This package allows access to any ByteHide tool, but this time we will only use the Shield tool. This is the PowerShell, but we can do it with the normal Windows terminal. We position ourselves in the path of the application. This application basically shows us a few inputs and will serve us for the example. To install the ByteHide tool, both in Windows and MacOS, type .NET tool install -g ByteHide. Now we have the tool installed, and from any terminal on our computer, regardless of the path, we can use the command ByteHide hello, which will give us information about the version and documentation of the product. Now we are going to proceed to protect the application, and for that, the first thing we will have to do is to link the ByteHide tool to our ByteHide account. We will use the command ByteHide login. This command will automatically open a tab to authorize the linking with the terminal tool. We give it to authorize, and if we return to the terminal, we will see that we are logged in correctly with our account. As we want to protect the application, we must use the Shield service. For it, we will use the command ByteHide shield --help. With this command, we will see all the options that Shield has in the terminal. In this case, we are going to protect an application automatically. That is to say, the terminal will guide us step by step in the process. The command would be ByteHide shield protect --auto. This is the easiest way to do it, but we could do it automatically in a single line and with custom configurations. We will see this later. When using this command, we will be asked to enter the name of the project. It can be the name of a project that already exists in the panel or a new one. It will create the project, and then it will ask us the path of the application to protect. In my case, the application to protect is testingapp.dll because it is a .NET Core application, and in the .NET Core applications, the source code is in the DLL file and not in the exe. Then it will proceed to resolve the dependencies automatically. In the case that it does not resolve them automatically, it will ask you for the path of the dependencies that it does not manage to resolve, indicating you its name. If you do not want to deal with the problems of the dependencies, I recommend you to use the Microsoft Misbuild integration because it will automatically resolve the dependencies for you, and you will not have to provide the path of each one of them. Once we have the application loaded, we will have the application name, the application key, and the project key. Now we can choose how we want to protect this application. If you are not unfamiliar with the configuration, in the protection presets part of the documentation, you will find the different presets you can use. Maximum protection protects the application to the maximum. Balance uses the most balanced options to protect only the most sensitive parts, and in a lighter way the parts that are not. Optimization protects only the critical methods and omits any type of interface or visual resource. And finally, we have custom. First, we are going to use one of the first three presets defined, and then we will see how the custom preset works. Then, in the terminal, we will use the arrows to select the option Use a preset. Now it will ask for a name to create a configuration file. By default, it will create, in my case, testing app, but I prefer to call it testing app. Press it. That will be the name of my configuration file. In this case, I will select the balance preset for the example. Finally, it will ask for the path where we want the protected application to be saved. I am going to create a new directory, and I will send it this path, indicating at the end the name of the application. Automatically, it will begin the protection process, and when it finishes, it will save the application in the path that we specify. In my case, here it is. To run it, we will need the original files that we had in the unprotected application. We will put it in the folder next to the protected application. When we run it, we can see that the application still maintains its functionality completely. But if we decompile it, we will be able to see that the application is protected. This would be the simplest option to protect the application. Now we are going to proceed to protect the same application, but creating a custom configuration file. When we create a custom configuration file, we have the documentation playground that allows us to create these configuration files in a simple way. This configuration file is created based on the protections we want to use and based on the settings we want to apply to each of the protections, such as changing certain parameters of the Renammer protection. In this case, it will automatically create the configuration file, which we can use or download. We will see how to do it in both ways because from the console we can do it in a basic way, without configuring parameters of the configurations, and from the other part, which is more advanced, we will do it by configuring the parameters directly. On the one hand, we will see how to use custom protections, and on the other hand, we will see how to use customized custom protections. Again, we will use the command of bytehide shield protect auto. We introduce the name of the project, and we send the path of the application that we want to protect. Now we will see the option to use a configuration file. Before, if we remember, we created a configuration file that we used to use a preset. But in this example, we will use a custom one. We will enter the name we want to give to the configuration file. To select which protections we want to use, we will go up and down with the arrow keys and select with the space key. Once we have made our selection of protections, we will press enter. Automatically, a new configuration file will be created and we will be asked for the path where we want to save the application. We will wait until the process finishes satisfactorily and we will be able to see that we have the application with the custom protections that we selected previously. If we open this JSON file, we will be able to see that it has generated the same file that we could have generated from the playground. This has been the way to protect with custom protections. In the following video, we will see all the advanced options on the protections, on the CLI, and on the configuration files.